Hello everybody, welcome to my channel 25th and South. My name is Cece and today you're watching another speed build, and this speed build is the last in my Brightchester bungalow renovation. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time and been watching my speed builds, you know that I've already posted 2 other bungalows here in Brightchester in the town center. I created a bungalow for the Elderberry family as well as a bungalow for 2 male Sims called the Party House. And today I'm going to be making a bungalow for the Pleasant twins, Lilith and Angela. So this bungalow was inspired by a picture that I found on Pinterest, of course. And what kind of struck me about this picture was the roofing. I just thought it was something that I could easily recreate here in The Sims, and it just looked like a really nice and cozy house. And I think that that's exactly what these girls will need while they are studying in their respective colleges. Of course, if you are someone who's been playing with The Sims for a very long time, then you know the Pleasant sisters. They came, I want to say, in Sims 2. Now, I've only ever played The Sims 4, so this is my first time encountering the Pleasant sisters, but I have enjoyed getting an education by watching other Simmers who have been playing with them and Simmers who did various reviews on the Discovery University pack where they come into play. And now I do have one of my Sims in my Let's Play, Bailey Goes to College. She is friends with Lilith, who goes to Foxbury, and I believe she majors in villainy. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, this is my first time encountering them, and they seem really cool. I think the lore of Sims 2 is that they hate each other, that they're complete and total opposites, but in The Sims 4 they seem to get along okay. And I guess in your personal gameplay you could easily change that if you wanted to. But yeah, Angela is the more well put together Sim, while Lilith is kind of the party Sim. And as again I said, she is majoring in villainy, so I would guess out of the 2 she's the baddie. But yeah, so it was really fun trying to come up with their house. Now I believe in their blob, the house that they live in is a family house, meaning that it's been in their family for years. So this bungalow was probably built a long time ago, and who knows whose house it is or whose house it was. Maybe a relative who's passed away, maybe grandparents, but as of now the Pleasant sisters live here, and I do imagine that they are here on mom and dad's dime. So mom probably came through and designed the shared living spaces, the bedroom and the kitchen dining area, and then the girls got to put their own unique spin on their personal bedrooms. Now this is a 2-bedroom house because I wanted the bedrooms to have enough space for the girls to do their activities, but if you want to use this house for other college students, you could easily put in 2 single beds. This might even be a really cool sorority or fraternity house. I know where I went to college, a couple of the fraternity houses were actually really small, and there were only a couple of bedrooms or a few bedrooms, and the guys shared them. Girls didn't have houses in my college. They had spaces where they did their activities, but they didn't actually live in houses, but I digress. But as you can see, the build is pretty much finished. The exterior, I did all of the floor planning, and I'm just putting those final touches on the build. I want to say I move into a little bit more of the interior, putting down the lighting, and I wanted this space to feel really bright. Of course, I put these lights down, and then as I continue to build, I put more lights down because I just wanted to feel nice and bright. And one thing that might seem a little odd about this build is that I put the bathroom at the front of the house. It just sort of naturally went there. I know in the other two bungalows, the bathroom's at the back of the house, but as I was just working on this floor plan, and because this house is sort of shaped a little bit more elongated, so from like north-south elongated instead of east-west, the bathroom just fit better in the front. And now I'm working on landscaping, one of my favorite things, and I'm guessing that they do have a gardener or landscapers that come through and take care of this garden because they are college students and they are way too busy to fool with this themselves. But I had a lot of fun putting this garden together. I put these rocks down to kind of be borders to them. It's a fun technique. And those rocks, they fit pretty well together, so it's pretty easy to do. It's not that hard. But I think after I'm done with the front, I go to the side, and then I'll move inside. And I want to say when I move inside, I'll start with the kitchen. But let's see, a little housekeeping before I sort of dig into that. We are about 17 days into the new year as of me recording this voiceover, and I want to know, what do you guys, do you have New Year's resolutions? I generally don't have resolutions because I know that I'm not going to fulfill them, but I do try and give myself goals. I think this year I want to try and run a full marathon. I've done a half marathon, but I definitely want to try and do a full one this upcoming year. So it's probably going to take everything in me to get the motivation to do that. But I'm definitely going to try. And as I'm talking about that, finally moved into the kitchen. I did use these base game counters because I wanted the kitchen to be very clean and bright looking, and I know that these particular counters and cabinets do seem very sterile, but in my opinion, as long as you use the furniture and things, you can easily warm them up. Like just the flooring and the wood from the windows makes this space look very bright, and the cabinets just sort of fade into the background a bit because of that. And let's see, I will start working on the bathroom here shortly, and again, it's at the front of the house, but I try to do something unique and different with it. I made this walk-in sort of shower with the bathtub right beside excuse me, and I put the windows down there. Now obviously that means not a lot of privacy, but you know, usually when you're in the bathroom, you're in there by yourself, and because they're sisters, they might not mind both being in the bathroom at the same time. When one of them is taking a shower or taking a bath, they might really mind. Who knows? But yeah, so I just really liked doing that. I try to be unique with bathrooms. I know they're probably one of the most boring rooms in any house generally. I guess if you're living in a mansion, then your bathroom can be pretty sweet. But now I'm moving on into the living room, and my whole sort of concept for the living room was sort of a laid back boho kind of vibe. So I use a lot of wood tone type furnishings, and I started off using those couches and chairs, and then I found that table, or I found a photo, and this coffee table just looked or reminded me of that photo, and so that's kind of where I base the living room on. If I can find it, I'll throw a picture of the photo. But again, I use those base game chair or couches. They're white, but again, when you sort of utilize those sort of dark wood tones and things, they sort of fade into the background. You don't really notice kind of how stark they look. They just really seem to fit there. And now I'm putting up the dining area, and because the kitchen is so small, instead of putting a kitchen island, I went ahead and put one of these consoles, and I put two bar chairs here. Now your Sims will actually sit and eat and drink here. They won't eat off the console, but they'll like hold their plates and hold their drinks and sit and eat there. So that is pretty cool. And after I work on this and decide what color tones I wanted this space to have, I move on to Angela's room, and her bedroom is really pastel, really pink, and sort of super girly, but kind of a softer girly. I think both their rooms are pretty girly, but hers is a bit softer. And Angela, I want to say in the game, is a painter, or she was majoring in art, which I did not realize that because, like I said, I never actually played with them. So I put a computer in her room, and then when I started working on Lilith's room, which I am now, I put an easel in her room because I thought, just by looking at her, she looks to be the more artistic one of the two, but obviously you can change it if you want, or if you're not interested in Lilith being a villain, you can make her an art major. And I was thinking maybe she could be more of a digital artist, and her sister can work with more hands-on art, like paints and stuff. But yeah, her room, Lilith's room, is really bold and bright. Again, they're both very girly, but sort of two different spectrums of girly. But now that I have placed all of the bigger items, all the furniture, I'm going to go back through and clutter up the space. And this is my process, and I did like doing that curtain technique, using those sheer curtains that I believe are from Parenthood, and laying those season curtains on top. I use base game curtains for the longer windows, and for those windows in the kitchen, that was cats and dogs. And I did try to clutter this space up with a lot of plants. In the picture, there were a lot of plants, but I didn't really have a whole lot of room, and I didn't want it to feel messy. I just wanted it to feel cozy and clean and neat, because I believe Angela is a neat sim, and so she's probably very anal about making sure that the house is well put together. And because she doesn't want to hear her sister's mouth, Lilith complies and just sort of keeps all of her mess in her bedroom. So you'll see how messy her room gets. And I did include laundry in this build for those of you who like to play laundry. And if you do not, I'm sure you can put anything in that little corner. So that empty spot there in the kitchen is where the washer and dryer will go. But yeah, I like playing with laundry. I don't mind laundry in real life. My only issue is folding it and putting it away. If only I could magically take clothes out of the dryer, come out perfectly folded, I throw them up in the air, and I know that they've made it in my closet, then the world would be a better place. I think, yeah, I'm still working in this area, and I'll start to move to the bedrooms here in a few minutes, and again, Angela's room is going to be very well put together. Everything will have its place, and there won't be a whole lot of clutter in that room, whereas Lilith's room will look like a bomb blew up in it, which is honestly, she's a girl after my own heart. My bedroom looks like an absolute mess. Like, I think I would get 1,000,001 views if I went on the trend of watch me clean my room, or a time lapse of me cleaning my room. Those are kind of popular. And I think this channel would blow up if I hopped on that trend, because for my bedroom, it totally needs it. And maybe a little bit of shame from viewers will prevent me from letting it get out of control. As of right now, you could just imagine what my room looks like. But yeah, I did not restrict myself on any of the packs. I tried to use a lot of University, but quite honestly, even me looking back at the builds, there's very few Discover University items. And I guess because a lot of them really feel like they're meant for the actual school or for older Sims. And so I didn't really use too much of that stuff. And here, those curtains in Angela's room, and obviously that board right there, they're all University. And then pretty much everything else is from everywhere. But we are barreling down on the screenshots. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a happy little thumbs up by way of pressing that like button. Comment down below, what do you think of this build? Tell me if you are someone who played with the Pleasant Sisters in Sims 2. Are you super excited to be playing with them here in The Sims 4? Have you been playing with them? Just give me your thoughts on University in general. I have 2 Let's Plays, and in both of the Let's Plays, someone is in school, and I can tell you it has been an absolute struggle bus, and I feel like I'm back in school even though I'm like 10 years removed from college. It's an absolute nightmare. There's so much pressure, and I'm like, this isn't real. These are fake Sims. These aren't real people. And yet I'm sweating buckets every time I play with them. But if you haven't already and you want to see more content from me, please subscribe. I post at least 3 times a week, speed builds, cast videos, and Let's Plays. And I would love to have you join. Again, my name is Cece, and I promise never to break your game. Bye.
We're good, we never left the ground, but we need to take some weight off our shoulders. The fight isn't over. Can you let me be tonight? I will need some time alone, not forever, but when we're together, it feels like my spark's been left in the dark sometimes. Cause when I'm with you, it's just like an airwave, better than a band-aid. This could be love, not sure, but I'm probably right. When you're around, I can say what I wanna say. So hard to concentrate.